Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the deep dive.
Hey there.
Today we're digging into a source you sent over. It's a Zillow listing. Property is 565 Shelton Rd LOT 1, Manchester, Tennessee.
Right.
And our mission basically is just to unpack the really interesting bits and key features from this listing for you.
See what makes it stand out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just right up front, the source material notes the listing agent is Chris Rains with Epique Realty.
Got it. Chris Rains, Epique Realty.
Yeah.
So looking at this, it's described as a new construction.
Yeah, brand new.
Single-family home, and it's not even built yet, right? It says 2025 build.
2025.
And the basics.
Okay, so the listing shows 4 bedrooms, 2,500 square feet, which is good size.
Decent space.
And it's sitting on, get this, 5.33 acres.
Wow. Okay, 5.3 acres, and it's new construction. Well, that's a combo you don't see every day.
It's definitely noteworthy.
The listing, it really leans into the setting, doesn't it? It calls it a spring pond and 5-acre Little Duck riverfront oasis. Yeah, that oasis language is key. Having water features like a pond and river frontage, especially year-round access like it suggests, that's huge.
On over 5 acres, too.
Exactly. It totally shapes the vibe. It screams, nature-focused lifestyle.
Right, like stepping outside to fish or just wander down to the river.
Mm-hmm. And offers the kind of privacy, that sort of recreational access that's pretty rare with a new build that might still be close to town amenities.
Which brings up that other line they use. It claims the property offers the convenience of city living, all while feeling like you were in the wilderness.
That's the core pitch, isn't it? The duality.
It's a big promise. How does the house itself, the actual 2025 structure, kind of back that up, the city convenience part?
Well, that's where the modern build comes in. The house itself is designed for, contemporary living.
Good.
Inside, the listing mentions soaring ceilings, wide open floor plan. Feels spacious.
Standard stuff for new builds, maybe.
Yeah, but desirable stuff. It mentions a large zoned dining space. So think like a defined area for eating, but still connected to the main living area, not closed off. Good for having people over.
Mm-hmm.
And the kitchen, as you'd expect, stainless appliances, stone counters, and it opens right onto those main living spaces.
Makes sense. And what about the layout? It mentions a split bedroom plan. Is that practical?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The source talks about a split plan that usually puts the primary suite on the main level, often separate from the other bedrooms.
For privacy.
Exactly. Gives the owners a bit of their own space. And it says 2 more bedrooms are also on the main floor, sharing a bathroom.
Okay, so 3 beds up, but then there's the basement, right?
Right, the finished basement. The listing really highlights that. There's a large den down there.
What does that add to the whole package?
Well, it seriously expands the usable square footage, adds flexibility. It's got the 4th bedroom down there and another full bathroom.
Perfect for guests or like a teenager zone.
Totally. But that large den is, I think, really important. It mentions it has its own walkout covered deck.
Oh, interesting. Direct access outside from the basement.
Yeah. So it's set up perfectly to be like an entertainment hub or a secondary living space that flows right out towards the pond and the land. Connects directly to that wilderness aspect.
So the main level living plus a whole separate retreat downstairs that opens onto the grounds. I see how that works. Okay. So beyond the decks and the water, what else about the 5.33 acres really stands out in the description?
Well, just the amount of space itself, combined with the fact that it apparently has public utilities, sewer, water, even cable are mentioned.
That's the city convenience again.
Exactly. Usually on 5 acres, you might be looking at well and septic. So having those connections is a big plus. It gives you that separation, that oasis feeling, but with easier infrastructure.
And the views.
Yeah, the listing specifically calls it out river and water views. So it's not just empty land. It's land defined by those natural features. You've got room to roam, maybe put in gardens, whatever, but you still feel connected to nature.
It really paints a picture. You've got this baseline of a modern new home, all the finishes people expect now.
Right.
But it's layered onto this pretty significant piece of land with really distinct natural elements. The pond, the river. It's a specific combination.
It really is. It kind of highlights a trend, maybe. Properties trying to bridge that gap between modern comfort and, getting away from it all.
Yeah, wanting the new fixtures and the feeling of space and nature.
It makes you think about the trade-offs or maybe the unique benefits of living somewhere designed like this.
Absolutely. Which circles us right back to that phrase from the listing.
The convenience of city living, feeling like you are in the wilderness.
Yeah. So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is something like this. How does a place like this actually achieve that balance day to day?
Right. what specific parts of living there would truly deliver on both sides of that promise, the convenience and the wilderness, simultaneously.
It's a really interesting dynamic they're selling. Something to chew on.